Chemistry without safety feels exciting. Safety without chemistry feels boring. Secure love learns how to hold both. Manifesting love begins when you stop chasing emotional unavailability and stop calling it a passion. It's so fascinating to me. I was at an event during the holidays and I was speaking to 4 women who all said to me that they wanted to find love. And I asked them how dating was going. And they all said they weren't dating. They weren't meeting people. It's fascinating to me when our action is misaligned from our intention. Now, I realize dating is exhausting. I realize that the apps can be challenging. I recognize that this isn't easy. But what I want to share with you is this. When you become more emotionally available with your friends, your family, open to connect, when you're figuring out how you're actually showing up as the person you want someone to fall in love with already, guess what? There's going to be more opportunities for you to create that connection because you're already showing up as the person who you want to be. You're already showing up as the person that someone can fall in love with. You're already showing up as that person. It makes such a big difference. Now, anyone who says it doesn't happen magically, you're right. It doesn't happen magically, but it's that you start to spot the opportunities. It's that you start to see where there might be a connection or compatibility. And the best part is you also know when it isn't. I think that's another thing. A lot of us waste our time in areas or with people that we know aren't the one because we're so desperate and want to be with someone that we actually miss out on someone who might be right there because we're too busy over here. And so making space is so important. Now, step 1 won't work unless we understand principle 2. Identity shapes attraction. Let's talk about identity. Psychologists have known for decades that self-concept predicts behavior more reliably than intention. Think about this. You don't act based on what you want. You act based on who you believe you are. Studies published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology show that people subconsciously choose partners and tolerate behavior that confirm their self-story even when that story hurts them. The story you tell yourself, the story you tell others, the story you believe about yourself is the kind of partner you allow into your life. If you always believe that you're unlucky in love, you will find the evidence to match that. See, what our mind does is that it seeks out proof for what we already believe. It seeks out evidence for what you already believe. So if you believe you're unlucky in love, you'll meet someone and it won't work out and then you'll feel unlucky. You are noticing, you're training your mind to notice that. So if somewhere inside you believe, I'm unlucky in love, people always leave, I'm just too much, you don't just think those thoughts, you live them. You over-explain, you over-give, you ignore red flags, you stay longer than you should. Because ultimately, you're simply trying to prove the argument in your mind. If you tell everyone the story of, you know what, I've just never been able to find someone that everyone in my life connects with, you will find the person that everyone in your life connects with apart from your sister, right? Because you're trying to repeat that evidence. You're trying to prove that to yourself. It's fascinating how the mind works. You've probably seen this in other areas as well. Whatever you believe, you start to see it everywhere. But manifesting love requires shifting from intention to identity. You don't want to say, I want a healthy relationship, but I'm someone who is part of healthy relationships. I'm someone who participates in healthy relationships. Notice how it's a different shift. That identity shows up as boundaries without guilt, standards without defensiveness, and curiosity without the anxiety. Here's the line to remember. Love responds to identity signals, not affirmations. I want you to be really clear about what you notice about yourself and what you believe about yourself. Everyone can tell 2 stories, the incredible things they did or the bad things that happened to them. It's all about which one you notice and which one you expand upon. When you believe that everything you've been through in your life has brought you to this place where you're ready for the right relationship, you're ready for a healthy relationship, you're not going to settle for less than you deserve, but you're not going to have crazy expectations that aren't realistic, you actually get to move forward. But when you keep creating stories about why your love life hasn't worked out, you will constantly exacerbate and expand them into your life. Now, I know that I've talked to you about principle 1 and 2, but principle 3 is the real practical unlock. Principle 3 is all about proximity and probability. Now, let's ground this even more. One of the strongest findings in attraction research is something called the mere exposure effect. Simply put, the more we see someone, the more familiar and attractive they become. Another well-established principle is the propinquity effect. Relationships form through repeated proximity. In fact, research consistently shows that most long-term couples meet through shared environments, shared routines, and repeated interaction, not destiny. So here's the reframe. Love doesn't show up when you're ready. Love shows up when you're reachable. If your life has no rhythm, love has no entry point. Manifesting love looks like showing up to the same places at the same times around people who share your values. This isn't forcing love. This is designing coincidence. Think about it. So many people meet at work. So many people meet at their place of worship. People meet people in places of similar value, like a charity. Some people meet people at a party of a mutual friends. Most of the time, and if you think about just 25 to 50 years ago, most people got married to someone within a 5-mile radius of where they grew up. If we don't have proximity with opportunity, our probability of finding love goes down. And for most of us, we're trying to find love more randomly, what feels like magic, what feels like synchronicity, rather than looking for it, sometimes in the most obvious places that are right there. You're more likely to fall in love and find someone who's right for you in a place that you've repeatedly gone to than somewhere where you went once. And we always hear about those amazing stories. Oh, I was on vacation. Oh, I was taking a little sabbatical. Oh, we just bumped into each other. Those are beautiful. And that's amazing. But the research proves that it's the repeated interactions that increase the probability for connection. Don't underestimate the people you know the most to help you find someone that you could love. Don't underestimate the places that you already go to potentially discover the right partner. Don't underestimate the repetitive patterns in your life that can lead to spontaneous connection.